Right now, we'll see if Scary D and his team can win game number 2. And it's Luminosity again in the first pick.
Based on what we've seen so far, though, from Scary D in Season 5, I don't even want to call him the one-trick calling pony either. I think that you hand him any warrior, and he'll probably non-stop brawl in that solo lane. It's just what he loves to do, and I love seeing this from him as well. It's about damn time, Scary. I'm honestly just so happy to see him finally making that impact that we've always known him to be capable of, but just never really brought.
Me too. I mean, like I said, I was easily the most critical person about Scary D for the past year. And the sad part is, you know, people are behind the scenes. I really like the kid. I think Scary D is one of the cooler guys in our pro scene. He's really a nice guy, and so it's very nice when you get to see those types of people really flourish here in the pro scene. So LG will turn things around. Hachiman, the first selection from these guys. Giannis, Terra, Achilles, and Kamazats will be banned out. But Trifecta will give Mask Nemesis. And then one more pick for the red, white, and blue. Athena.
Interesting, though, that they would actually opt to ban away that Achilles. And I think this is also Trifecta kind of just hoping that Luminosity maybe might prioritize something else other than the Nemesis. It's a little surprising, though, I will admit, because Weekend also plays a decent bit of Nemesis, and I'm just a little bit surprised at Nemesis.
Nemesis! We're all thinking it. We're all thinking it.
It's impossible not to.
But we're all thinking the Arachne as well. Finally, a team doesn't ban out the Ela Spooter. And LG, you know what's really fun? If you go to Smite Guru and you check out Weekend's profile,
it's just Arachne.
It's just Arachne. It's all Arachne. That's all it is. So Weekend's going to get his character of choice. We'll see if the 8 legs are good enough to take on the 2 heads of Trifecta's mid lane. You and I were talking at length off camera about Metyankey. I'm not a fan of him in the mid lane. Love him as a hunter. However, there are 2 characters that I like him on in the mid lane. Isis and Agni. They're both kind of utility characters, and Agni here I think is a good look.
Mages that don't require a single-handed carry engagements, I think, are much better for Metyankey. He still has a lot of those feelings of just being more of that hunter player. I almost want to see Trifecta just throw Zapman onto a soul-off cooldown so that when Metyankey plays a hunter in mid, because we know he's awesome at those. He does such a great job on Uller and Hu Yi even, but there's still a lot, I think, for Met to kind of learn and take away from. And he did have Season 4 to kind of try transitioning and adapting, but things are a little bit all over the place then. It was the hard times, I think, for ALG. And now that he's with Trifecta, maybe he could start opening up a little bit more. But the hesitation factor, I do feel as though there's a lot of hesitation going through Met's mind when he's playing those single carry mages like the Thoth, for example. And I think that as long as he sticks to more of the utility-based ones, he'll be okay.
Exactly. We've seen a number of teams kind of identify where their carries are this season, and I think the meta tells you that your mid laner kind of has to be that hard mid-game carry, but I don't think you really got to follow the meta so hard. In fact, Trifecta is going to bring out the Ymir solo, I think. We'll find out. On the cast is John Finch and Ryan Bailey.
Thank you, Tom, for very calmly giving us the cast.
We
Finch
appreciate
and Ryan
it.
here. Yeah, you're heard and appreciated, Tom. But we got a lot of cool picks. Arachne coming up. Very likely going to came too hard.
We just went 0 to 60 real quick.
Came in too hard there, but Arachne been selected there for LG. And then the Ymir last selected in too, so a couple ones I'm interested to see.
Look, I mean, Arachne's been banned against Weekend for like 2 or 3 sets in a row, and he gets the opportunity to picks it, and he locks it in right away. I don't know that it was the best possible option right there, but honestly, it's not a bad transformation target for the Morrigan. I mean, it checks the box of a quick ultimate that gets you out of danger very well, that Keys can use to try and stay safe, as well as if in a 1v1 situation, if Keys can find the stun, find the 2, then just transform to Arachne, who boxes better than just about anybody. Honestly, I don't hate it.
Well, you've seen the drafts, chat, so now I got to ask you, who do you think's going to win this game? Please, in the mixer chat, vote for that one. But at first, I don't know, I wasn't 100% sold in this LD draft, but when you get to pick in the Artio there in that last selection along with the Morrigan, I mean, your draft's automatically looking a whole lot better. So let's go ahead and get into the game, see exactly where all these picks are going, and see how they end up shaking out.
And it is going to be Ymir solo for Scary D. So not worried about the cripple field by Kiki. That's not going to be a problem for him. And the wall, I think, is going to be really... Oh, excuse me. Oh, got a little burp there.
Oh, yeah. Do we need to slow it down like the desk again for you?
Yeah.
Aggro, are you okay?
Yes, John. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I really feel like this Ymir selection is going to work out wonderfully for Scary D. You see, he's just a gentleman, not using the gentleman skin, but I took a wager and I was incorrect. I was really hoping. I mean, he's got plenty of options on the Ymir. I forgive him anyways. I will move on.
Forgiven. Forgotten, even. As Kiki
what if we did the whole shoutcast this way?
Chat would love that.
Would they? What if we talked at this volume and then something incredible happened and you just screamed your lungs out and everyone had turned up their volume? Everyone was saying to themselves, I can barely hear them. I wish they would speak louder. I'm going to max out my volume. And then you scream in their ear. You break their eardrums and you kill them. Don't kill the chat.
I would never. I would never.
Gradually.
In fact, chat,
Gradually
I saw that you voted for LG despite Game 1 for once. I see you all sticking to your guns. 57% believing that LG, with this Arachne on Weekend, or Weekend on Arachne, can turn it around.
Maybe Weekend does have a spider on him right now. I'm not willing to rule that out. Are you?
In fact, I kind of wish that he did. I wish I had a spider on me. Wish we all did.
Why would do you really dislike Kurt that much that
no,
you want him to have a spider?
I love spiders.
It's
a normal size spider, aggro. Calm down. It's not the giant one from Harry Potter. It's okay.
All right, but seriously, you're like cool with spiders crawling all over you?
No, I'd hate that.
Yeah, I would say that's a horrible bit you're going for.
I mean, you know, most of my bits are. I don't let that stop me, Ryan. I have to.
What if that's
keep
your bit?
right on
What if
going.
that's your bit that your bits are bad?
Well, it's certainly that I can't tell. Kiki is hanging out, has Mask in his jungle. Hopefully he's okay with that because that's happening. That is what is happening. In fact, they're pressuring him pretty well. Level 1 still. Now they have a chance to go try and take away this blue buff, and Weekend still chilling in the mid lane, so that'll almost certainly happen, but he finds Metyankey underneath the tier 1 tower. Sorry if your volume was up, but Weekend's turned it to 10 already.
Blink forward, finds the Agni in the mid lane there. Zap a little bit off the mark with that knockup. Probably no kill potential on NotGeno regardless, but now Weekend's going to meet up with Mask. Just stole away his XP Harpies. Mask still has the dash, but the web's already on him. Mask got a ton of trouble here.
Right into the root, and going to be able to follow that one up as Weekend. Nice. Two-man freeze is going to get him on out of there. Scary D keeping Mask in the land of the living.
Now, really good freeze there by Scary, and I was talking about the wall being the real reason we see this Ymir solo selection, and it is very good against the Hachiman. That horse isn't going to get him over it. Keegs is going to have trouble with it. Kiki will as well Geno, but those things are all great, but also when assassins are going blink at level 1, you get a chance to just get freeze them. It's really strong.
Calculated as keegsmate is able to find the kill onto Zapman with the rotation for the mid lane. NeiruMah got to keep on running, and Clout was never even close to falling there, Ryan. Able to find the second kill of the game is LG. Chat, maybe you were right with that 57% in LG's favor. They look good so far.
And that's what you want to see if you're a Luminosity fan, is Weekend getting off to a good start and Keys getting off to a good start. Now, Mask again, low, but with Metyankey in tow, might be able to stay safe. Weekend's got that blink up in 5 seconds, but Mask has blink up right now and is going to use it to make sure that he can't get chased down. Realize that he was in some dire straits.
Kiki going to be dashing and aggressive to the wave, looking for more damage. Scary D unafraid to keep on swinging. Don't forget with that passive, he is going to get a little bit extra damage on those autos after he uses abilities. So, going to be seeing plenty of Ymir swinging the club, and Scary D, he's going to continue to do it over there in the solo lane. But you talked about a little bit, Ryan, that you want to see Weekend, or that if you're an LG fan, you want to see Weekend get off to a good start. To be fair, he got off to a great start last game too, and what Trifecta did was they held on. They didn't lose too much in those fights until finally they got a deicide and just ended it.
And honestly, this team composition for Trifecta can do very much the same thing. Their turnaround potential is really, really strong just because of those Ymir walls and because of the freeze and CC chain potential. I mean, you're talking bomb stun, Ymir stun, Athena taunt, Jing knockup. You've got plenty to worry about, and that's before we talk about the Nemesis that Mask is on. So as long as Mask doesn't fall as far behind as he did in Game 1, this Trifecta composition looks really good to me.
That's going to be the plan here in Game 2, but already off to a bit of a rocky start. LG got the first 2 kills, and they're on Weekend and Keegs. And what we saw from Keegs was something we don't always see, an early rotation from the mid laner. Those can be very powerful, especially on someone here like the Morrigan, where he caught the dual laner Trifecta, pushed up just a little bit too far, and able to bring down Zapman, who was kind of ahead of Clout in the dual lane, or at least controlling it for most of last game.
That's what you need, because if you're giving away control on something like an Arachne this time around, it's not going to work out for you particularly well. But Mask has done a good job of controlling those XP Harpies on the right-hand side. So that's something to keep an eye on. Is Weekend going to fall behind in farm because of the steal aways by Mask? Now, the first blood has boosted Weekend's net worth to the point where despite losing 2 of those camps, he's not behind, still a little bit ahead. But without that bounty, Mask would be in the lead there.
And this is a little bit more of like what we normally see from the teams Kiki's on, where they'll kind of leave him on an island a little bit over there in the solo lane, and that's been the case this time. Mask has put some pressure on the solo side, and as you said, it results in some of that farm for Weekend getting stripped away as well. But this time, Kiki's on the Artio. Once he gets to a certain point in lane, he won't have too much trouble sticking around.
And that's kind of what you're looking for from Trifecta and Luminosity. When you're sticking Guardians in the solo lane, you're not really looking for the 1v1s in the lane. You're not trying to solo kill your opposition. You're just waiting it out until the team fight phase. And with the way Scary's been team fighting, I'm fine with Trifecta picking him whatever they want in that solo lane as long as he doesn't lose the matchup too hard. Scary's been playing so well when it comes to the grouping up and the team fighting that I really feel like he's going to have a good chance to outplay just about anybody there.
Gonna need to make sure that he positions himself well as Weekend is here in the jungle. Does end up proccing the web, but the wall creates some space. He goes right into the shards of ice. And Weekend cannot stand in that one. He ends up backing off, and Scary D survives, at least for the moment. As now, he has a little bit of help coming in from Mask. Kiki forced to dash away, using the shield to avoid some of Weekend's damage, and now Trifecta continuing to push, even using the dash.
That's the early rotation here from NeiruMah as well. That'll force Weekend up into the ultimate. He looks like an octopus up there. It's like ink blots, like blotting out on the web.
It does kind of look like that. Like an upside-down wall-crawling octopus as keegsmate's able to find Metyankey in the jungle. I don't know how much help he had on that one, but able to find another kill. He could be, though, long gone over here. Going to be able to sneak away using that invisibility and has a chance to start trying to back.
No way. Zap's got to find him, and there he will. Zap going to take a decent amount of damage, but not going to end up mattering. Zap,
nowhere for him to run to, yeah.
Mask has no respect. Zap's trying to get that kill. He's like, yo, let me get this. I've got my Devo glove stacks to worry about. And Mask comes up and whacks Keegs down. Honestly, I really thought that Keegs was going to be able to sneak away from Zapman. I feel like without that audio cue, if Keegs just stood there against that wall and didn't make any audio cue, I really think Zapman might have just ran past him.
I think he might have been able to make it, but it was just bad timing. Right as he came that way, a minion wave had sort of come down in solo lane, so he couldn't move any further into the lane without giving away the vision and even potentially aggroing them. So he was kind of stuck a little bit, and Zap was able to spot him out. So not anywhere for him to go. And as you said, good guy Mask comes in and finishes that one up for him. Just you know, secures it, as you do.
Is that what that was?
I mean, that's what I saw. That's how I choose to say it.
I see.
All I have to say is secure, and chat will say what it was for me. They'll say it.
Well, why wouldn't you just be saying what it was yourself?
It was a secure.
And that's what chat's going to say. I'd like a mixer poll to see if that was a kill secure or a kill steal, because I feel like I don't think chat's going to agree with you.
No, I mean, they might say something different, but I think we'll end up agreeing.
How does that make sense?
Continues into the dual lane. Metyankey actually gets a two-man stun. That's good. Clout, half health, has to retreat. Airstrike comes out from Zapman, though, under a little bit too much pressure. They got 4 members here now as Mask rotates over, but no one from LG is going to stick around for that, and they're going to go ahead and make their way on out of there, is the LG squad.
Well, both Mask and Weekend on that left-hand side, though, and both having their ultimates, but obviously Mask's ult is going to be more impactful in the actual fighting phase. Now, Weekend can use his as a getaway tool where Mask has to really rely on those double dashes, but both have the ability to basically one-shot a carry all by themselves right now, so no surprise that both teams are a little bit hesitant once the assassins turn up.
Now, I did want to talk a little bit here about it, Ryan, because I've heard that you've occasionally played in mid. We are seeing some differences between these mid lane starts already. Looks like Keegs prioritizing that movement, and then the Warlock staff getting started from Metyankey.
I really like this from Keegs, and the reason is that Morrigan doesn't care about her early game power because she isn't utilizing her early game power. Morrigan is transforming into other gods to get their early game power for her. So that's why I honestly like that Mask is going what could be a Heartseeker early on, could also be a stone cutting sword, but something that's going to lessen the damage of Keegs transforming into him and just using a big burst right away like he would get from a Crusher or a Jotun's Wrath that Mask has been going for quite a bit. But Keegs is just playing to be survivable, use that ultimate as much as possible with the restored artifact going to be turning into a Chronos Pendant, and utilize other people's early builds, and then he'll build power later on whenever the Morrigan herself needs to be doing that damage. Metyankey, on the other hand, he's him all day. He's got 2 heads. He's on fire.
Oh, so Agni doesn't transform another. That's not a thing.
No,
Agni.
That's you gotta. Okay. Except if you don't deserve Agni at his insert picture here, then you don't just... Oh, I messed that up.
Yeah, you messed it up, Ryan.
Oh, no. If you don't...
No one say anything about it.
Kill secure.
Haas, kill secure. Thank you, Mixer Chat.
All right, chat. Everyone gets something wrong every once in a while. It's fine. 36% of you, keep up the good work. 64%, reevaluate your life choices.
No, you're on Team Finch, and I can't think of a better squad to be on. Mixer Chat as Kiki takes a whole bunch of damage from Scary D in the solo lane.
Hope you like Fallout Boys, 64% of the chat.
We know that you do. Of course they do. What a weird question.
As if there was any doubt.
Right. Should be asking them which part of Fallout would he like the best. That's the real. There you go.
Wow, that's the real.
It's not a bit, by the way. I love them.
The head scratcher for you. It's true. Finch is vehemently defended that Fallout Boy is the best man that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Like for real though.
Yeah. Looking for this red buff invade, perhaps, is Trifecta. Taunt comes out to control Geno, forces the Cataclysm. In response, they do secure their own buff, but now Weekend has committed, still has the ultimate available, going to squid his way out of there. Actually turns back around and thinks better of that one. Sprint does come out from Trifecta in response, so they can spread out, and Weekend able to escape.
Yeah, Weekend thought about it once he saw how big Clout's ult was. He was able to hit 4 people with that mounted archery, but still not enough. Geno in a ton of trouble here. Knock up as well. Zapman knocks him down with the airstrike, and Weekend, no beads, no ult. Probably going to be no life here. NeiruMah grabs a kill.
And just like that, the kill count evened up 3-3, and Trifecta trying to uneven it as they look for keegsmate. I think he might have dashed in aggressively because he is not, or wasn't Keegs, rather. It was the Morrigan. Zapman is the one that ends up finding that one and evens it on out, and that's going to be enough to make it 4-3. Trifecta looks so good in that team fight in the jungle.
Yeah, I don't know that Agni is the best transformation target there for Keegs because stacking items don't work the way you want them to as a Morrigan player. You're not going to receive those stack bonuses, and Metyankey has Warlock Staff that's halfway stacked, which doesn't matter to Keegs on the transformation, and Boots 2. He's not going to be swinging, to say the least. It's going to be not a lot of damage. Some decent control, but feel like something like the Ymir even would bring more control and damage than the Agni transformation there for Keegs.
Or leaving.
Or leaving.
Could have been good also. You don't have to transform into that either. You can just go.
Well, you could transform into something. You could squid away.
That's true.
You could become a bear and kind of waddle away.
And eat honey.
Really? That again?
I mean, as long as it's still true, then why not go back to that?
If I could turn into a bear, I totally would. Bears are really funny. Like, they do funny stuff. They also, like, maul people, which is less funny, but...
Could be some trouble here for Weekend. Still has the ultimate available, so he's going to be able to get on out of there and squid away as we've coined it here now. Red buff has respawned again. That's how long Trifecta has been over here in the jungle of LG. In fact, they're going to be able to take this one away this time and give that to the only person it could have possibly gone to, Zapman himself. Going to have that on the Jing way. And why not? He's looking good on it. Kind of came up with the hero play for them last game, or at least was able to rotate in the back end and find all those last hits and turn that fight around. As Ultra comes down to Kiki, finds the 2-man stun. Defender of Olympus is being committed as well. Taunted, back in, wall, going to give him less options to try and escape. Freeze now to control the bear, and with the Shard device committed as well, that's going to be a kill for Trifecta in the solo lane.
That's just what you're looking for Scary to get ahead, just like he did in the last game. Wasn't going to be able to outright carry all by himself, but felt like it at times in team fights, and getting him ahead and keeping Kiki down, certainly a good idea. I mean, look at the net worth charts, almost 1,000 gold in the lead for Scary D, and that's the first time anyone's really showed up to that lane from Trifecta. It's all been about these blue buff invades and pushing the wave underneath the tower.
And we talked about how Mask ended up last game behind Weekend. This time it's the other way around. Weekend 1-1-0, level 10, as opposed to Mask, who's level 13. And we've kind of seen why. Very often, Weekend has to use his ultimate to disengage and can't go in.
And that's kind of what you're looking to make Arachne do, that you have to make her feel uncomfortable. If you're letting Arachne just sit on top of your mages or your hunters, and she's going to eat them alive very, very quickly at that. But with how well Trifecta has turned to help wherever Weekend is going, and that's kind of the adjustment period, right, where
people bring out the Arachne and everyone forgets exactly how much damage she does and what you have to do against her to be effective at a high level. I mean, everyone knows in the SPL what Arachne's abilities do and that what kind of damage they do. But having that exact number in your mind is really, really important. And also knowing cooldown timers. It takes a little bit of time to get used to a god like that you haven't seen in a little bit. It feels like Trifecta has done their homework and feel pretty comfortable playing up against it thus far. But we have seen teams shut down Weekend's Arachne in the early game and then come back and he makes some crazy play and kills a couple. So watch out for that.
That's it. Cataclysm taken away from Geno just like that in the jungle. And again, Trifecta here to try and contest the red buff. Not going to be able to take it away this time, but they got what they wanted off of Geno, and they didn't commit really anything to set that one up. No ultimates or relics used. In fact, Mass only just now getting the blink back. And I'm sure we'll be seeing him make good use of that here shortly.
I'd love to see Trifecta pull Gold Fury right now because they know that Cataclysm just got used. Weekend is going to show up on the right-hand side, and Clout is down a full Ichabod right now to Zapman. He hasn't been able to back and buy that up. This is a time to play aggressive.
Geno does get taunted in, and dashing in aggressively as Zapman has Mask finally coming in with the blink. Sprint comes out trying to get them away, so the slows aren't going to end up piling up on them. So they're not going to be able to find the kill on Geno, but they do force him away. Now they can turn their attention back towards the jungle. Metyankey with the rotation over. They certainly could make a Gold Fury attempt happen, and it looks like that is going to be the plan. keegsmate, kind of the only one here. Clout's over in the dual lane as well, and now he rotates.
Keegs here with his ultimate, going to go into stealth mode, lurking forward, but Trifecta get it before the Dark Omen comes through, and that's the exact type of power play I was looking for from Trifecta, recognizing that not only are you ahead in item build, but you've also poked out your opposition, and you have the inherent advantage on top of the fact that you're just farther ahead in your items and have your ultimates available where the enemy team does not. Nice play.
Ryan, this game started 0-3 in Luminosity's favor. I mean, they got the first 3 kills of the game. They looked good after that, and it has just been straight down ever since. Really, the gold charts show me it's never really went up. Trifecta kept it even though they dropped a couple kills. They won that fight in the jungle, and they've kind of had the pressure ever since.
Well, it all comes down to this little phrase that I coined not too long ago, which is getting the stuff after the stuff. You know, once you get kills...
An aggro original.
Exactly.
TM.
Once you're able to get kills, you got to be able to invade buffs, you bring down towers, and Luminosity's kills were so early on that it's very difficult to do that. So Trifecta just say, it's not a big deal, we'll wait it out. And every time Trifecta, even like that Gold Fury, they don't get a kill in that situation. They're just forcing back Luminosity and then getting an objective on top of it anyways.
Taunt comes out from NeiruMah. Looking for Geno, but not going to be able to overcommit. Weekends here this time, taking the Agni bomb, and you can see just how well those are chunking, and they're forced to retreat. Now they turn their attention towards the tier 1 in mid lane. The LG are here to try and defend. Rotating over this time is going to be the Hunters. Zapman's already here. Clout is in the jungle. Look for those back harpies, but the two-man taunt comes out, and this time Scary D's here to follow it up with the freeze. Geno not even going to be able to get the Cataclysm off as he falls to Scary D.
Keegs transforms into the Nemesis, and blinking into the backline goes Kiki. Weekend right behind him, looking for Metyankey, but he still has both relics available, and now he's going to bombs on Kiki.
Now the whole team from Trifecta with a clean disengage can look for the re-engage. They're not going to find it. Instead, perfect decision making. They're going to come for the Pyromancer. A lot committed from LG in the mid lane. Let's just come over with our health bar advantage and take the Pyro.
And Kiki the only one here, but no blink and really not a lot going for him in the build right now either. Again, the blink over the Thorns this time around, being behind already. I'm not sure that Kiki's thought process may be that Thorns might not just help him that much because he's so far behind as it is. May as well try and use the blink to help be an initiator. And Luminosity's comp can struggle to initiate as it is, but once Geno hits level 12, that Blink Cataclysm becomes a great initiation all by itself.
And Ryan, you pointed this out earlier too, but I want to talk a little bit more about Mask's build. Still not putting a ton of power into it. Actually goes with the Wing Blade as the third item.
Really worried about the slows coming out from Weekend, it feels like. That's why we see the Wing Blade. I would have preferred to see some sort of direct penetration now. I mean, Stoke Cutting acts like penetration by stealing protections from whoever you're auto-attacking, but by this time, I think a Brawler's Beatstick, a Jotun's Wrath, a Crusher would fit into the build very well. Looks like he might just be going Heartseeker to try and one-shot keegsmate or Clout or Weekend and not really worry about hitting the tanks, but the composition so far for Trifecta has been very tank-killing focused. It's been taunting Geno, nem-ulting Geno, and killing Geno. And there's probably an argument that Mask doesn't need to build a whole lot of pen in order to make that happen. If there's enough of his teammates around, just the ultimate alone, Prot Shred will be enough, so that he can focus on just killing the squishies as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, not to mention it is going to make Weekend's life that much harder. A lot of what the Arachne wants to do is get those webs on you, start slowing you down, and then he'll himself be faster, can catch up to you. But instead, Mask just going to kind of zip on out of there, and any chance we might have to catch him out in the jungle is even further diminished.
And Zapman, again, just ahead in this lane, and really has been for what feels like all game long. Clout has not been able to make an impact. I mean, he did in game 1 with that one play, but outside of that, Zapman really felt like he was getting the better end of this Hunter matchup, both in lane and in the team fights.
It was a nice play, though.
It was a really nice play.
Yeah.
It was really sick.
4 members of Trifecta are here. No Gold Fury, at least for another minute, so they just want these Oracles, and they want them bad. They're going to get them. That's a red glow. That's Trifecta every day.
And this is where it becomes scary because of the CC that Trifecta has, and Geno's going to find that out.
Scary stayed in solo.
Firsthand. That's my thing, and don't take it from me. Geno has to use the sprint and the ultimate in order to get away. And now Trifecta is going to have their stuff ready for when the Gold Fury respawns in about 45 seconds. Nemo won't be there. In fact, Mask actually used the beads to try and confirm that kill, so not nearly as bad for Luminosity as I thought.
So you have stuff after the stuff and the player name bit thing? That's all you?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I just want you to ask me if you can do that next time. Like,
right.
We didn't really talk about it beforehand. I can loan it to you for sure.
Your secretary was not in. I tried to get a meeting with you, and she wasn't there.
That's ridiculous. What am I paying them for? I mean, here's the... Oh, but I will say this. To FDOT, you always have permission because FDOT really dislikes it, and so I want you to use it as often as possible there. The Gambler as well. The Gambler doesn't like it much either.
Okay, sure.
If you don't know who the Gambler is, it's also known as a Savage Guy.
Right.
That should really...
That clues you in. You wouldn't need any more clues.
No, not at all.
Obviously, we know who we're talking about. And the Gold Fury.
Guy.
Yeah, the Savage Guy. Being pulled by Trifecta. They get off it. Kiki blinks in. Has that cripple field down, but I don't think NeiruMah cares particularly much about that. It's Weekend who comes on the backside, avoids the Agni bombs. That's 2 down without much impact. And now NeiruMah actually is very low. 2-man taunt comes back in, but Zapman has to retreat. LG just kept going, and Trifecta never really responded. Now Scary D is here, but also doesn't find much impact.
Well, Luminosity could just head back towards the Gold Fury here. I mean, Mask, no beads. Does have his ultimate up now, but so does Geno. So now that's exactly where Luminosity is heading. But Zap, remember, he's Jing Wei. He can get back very quickly.
Taunt comes out. Kiki gets stunned out by the Agni Bomb. 3-man Cataclysm gets landed by Geno, but is right into the shards of ice. That's going to pop on top of keegsmate, who's forced to get out of there. Remember, he's inside that Changeling ultimate. Weekend goes too far in the back. Weekend gets blown up. Now Kiki's here, looking to see if he can try and get a little bit of lockdown of his own, but no one's there to help Clout. Knockup is what saves him, but the wall's just too good. He ends up getting taken down by Scary D. 2 for 0. Zapman makes it 3 for 0. Trifecta again win another team fight. They don't even want the Gold Fury. They want Geno's life. He gets walled. He gets frozen. He gets locked down as Keegs tries to come in on the backside and gets blown up.
Yeah, Keegs trying to go for the hero play there. I respect it, but Trifecta a little bit too wary of where he was on that Morrigan. Another clean team fight for Trifecta. And that's what I was just about to say before that, is that the CC potential for Trifecta is just phenomenal. I mean, I already went over how many different characters have stuns and taunts and all that kind of stuff. And if you use your purification beads in the first engagement, Trifecta just backs it up. They wait for their cooldowns to come back, and then they reinitiate, they re-engage, and then Luminosity is just out of tools to survive and lose 4 members because of it.
Yeah, and these charts are telling you what you kind of have been feeling as you're watching this game, which is that Trifecta's been in control for all of it, really, aside from that early game push by LG, which didn't seem to affect the numbers really that much. Now Trifecta, on top of taking the Gold Fury, can come look at the Fire Giant, and there's no one from Luminosity can come in not to contest this control that Trifecta have. Fire Giant goes their way. 10,000 now is the gold lead. 13,000 is the XP lead. Trifecta, not just 10-3 in the kills, they're up in all relevant categories.
And now with Fire Giant under their waist as well, there's plenty of gold left standing on the map for them to take. It's not like they're just, you know, they've already taken all the towers. They can just go get some Phoenixes. No, there's 5,000 gold waiting for them in these towers on the map. So if they weren't full build yet, they certainly will be after they knock down all of these tier 2s.
And it looks like LG are going to at least show some presence around the tier 2 tower. Kiki wraps on the backside. Geno going in, and he's looking for the Cataclysm instead of set up for the knockup. The target they're trying to lock down is Metyankey. Not going to be able to get out. Instead, he's just going to turn and burn Weekend, who gets deleted. Kiki falls as well to the pressure from Mask. They are at least going to find Metyankey in the backside, but now where's Keegs going to go? He's got NeiruMah and Zapman staring him down. He escapes, and they turn their eyes instead towards Clout in the mid lane, who falls. Geno is going to be able to make it to the CC immune part of the rollout, but the tier 2 tower, there's no one there.
Great play by Metyankey. I say it all the time. You're going to die as a mid-mage. It's part of the game. just got to make sure you get your damage off. Met did just that. Scary's going to get his damage off with that Shards of Ice. And keegsmate just kind of suicides. That might do it here, Finch. I think it's over.
The mid Phoenix has fallen. Trifecta still has all their relevant damage around, and I think you might be right. They're going to go into the Titan room. Game 1, for as competitive as that one looked, Game 2 looked to be in control of Trifecta the entire time. Mask may have fallen here, but they don't need him. Titan is in the target of Trifecta, and they're going to take it.
Weekend respawns, but it's not going to matter. Trifecta do find the 2-0 over Luminosity. Got to respect Mask's dedication to the BM there. Yeah, I mean, he takes his only death to the Titan.
That's right. That's sort of like standing on the edge of the Titanic as the ship sinks, right? He's taunting no matter what happens, and he falls, right?
But Mask still won. He didn't sink in the Titanic.
His character died, though. Yeah. You know, he died.
Who
was the MVP, chat?
The MVP is.
Thanks, Ryan.
Please.
I didn't even need your help there. Who was the MVP? Mixer chat. Please, in the poll, let us know who it was that you thought was the MVP. A lot of good choices there on the side of Trifecta. They looked great.
It's true. They really did. As a team, I mean, Mask was 5-0 before he went out on his own terms. Scary Deke, again, controls the lane on the Ymir. Kiki never had a chance to play aggressive.
Yeah, that's going to do it for that set. Not entirely, though. We are going to get that one broken down. Let's get it over to Tom and Taco on the desk.
Thanks a lot, guys. You know, I can't tell the difference between Finch and Aggro. They're wearing the same clothes. They look exactly alike.
It happens from time to time. And
thanks for the backup, Taco.
it's cute. I'll give it to them. I mean, they chose to match today.
Twinning tomorrow.
Aggro likes Fall Out Boy too. Clearly, that's what we're getting at here.
I'll wear the cheetah print next. Today, Trifecta's wearing the cheetah print as they win 2-0 above Luminosity. Game 1 was a little bit closer. Game number 2, well, still just a continuation. Again, Scary D going off. Ymir solo, I don't know if you consider that a strange pick, but it's one of my personal favorites. I love it, especially against this comp.
To me, it felt a little bit more like Luminosity running that risk versus reward composition. The Arachne clearly was not able to pan off and get that snowball potential that Weekend has been able to accomplish in previous matches with this Arachne pick. So ultimately, he's going to end up getting pretty much shut out of the jungle, and I think a large part of that was due to Scary D on the Ymir with the walls causing a massive isolation factor to happen time and time again. Right as the team fight started to look promising for Luminosity, immediately Scary D coming through with the Ymir wall, blocking anybody who wants to be there out and keeping anybody who doesn't want to stick around in. And that, to me, says a lot about a player's map awareness and just kind of understanding the situation and how it's going to break down if he traps someone X period of time.
Sure. And what a surprise. It's Scary D again as the MVP. You know, I'm just going to record myself saying that because this guy has been coming out and winning it all the time. 3-0-7 there on the solo lane Ymir. And, you know, I like what you said before. You said Ymir isolates the opposition.
Oh, God. I'm telling you, these... it's not intentional. I swear, I don't even realize it half the time. I was trying to figure out what that look was for. Actually, 99% of the time, because he was just like, and I didn't understand. I was like, what is this about? Like, what are you trying to get at here? But getting back on track for this set between Luminosity and Trifecta, I think this was a little bit more along the lines of what we expected from a team as experienced as Trifecta. Luminosity kind of still shaking out those rookie feathers, and that's understandable. It happens, and if anything, you can always take this experience and look forward to adjust it for future sets. We've seen a ton of promise, I think, from Luminosity, but it's clear Trifecta is now here, and they are ready to make sure that they can compete with the top end of NA.
Absolutely. See, like I said, everything kind of lining up for Trifecta here. My question, we're 4 weeks in. This is week number 4 of a 6-week split. Is this the Trifecta you expect to see the rest of the year? Is Trifecta a top team in North America?
I think they're going to get better, but I think a lot of that also depends on whether or not Scary D can continue to act as the catalyst for this team. I think a lot of other top contending teams in NA at least are starting to recognize Scary D as a massive threat. If you haven't already put his number down in your books, you probably should go ahead and get on that for you other NA SPL teams out there, because Scary D has definitely made an appearance in Season 5. He's awake for once. Ronnie wants to participate.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. Coming up next is Space Station versus Splice. How you feeling about that matchup?
I love it, but I really want to see what happens with Splice, more importantly, over Space Station. I think you know what to expect out of Space Station, but Splice seems a little bit more like the wild card factor.
They've been able to take top games off of the top teams. We'll be back with the top matchup here on the SPL.